Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Gleberman, and you're listening to Silence on Set podcast. For today, we have the cast of Maggie, which is a brand new show currently airing on Hulu. First up is Kerri, Kenney-Silver, and Ray Ford. I'm just going to jump right in because I'm literally obsessed with both of you.
Wow.
So I'm so
Let's
excited.
take our time then. Really milk this.
Hey, listen, if they let me take my time, I would. So I have a question for both of you. So for Kerri, for Maria, she's such a loving mom. And it seems like she's there and she's always there for her. And I really liked the one in particular. It's very early on, but it might be a couple episodes in, but when she stands up for her daughter, when someone comes and goes, I don't believe in all this stuff. And she's very accepting and she explains whether you believe it or not, she believes it. And you should stand up for her and believe in your daughter. And then for Ray, Angel is I want to be best friends with him. I'm the king of all kings who believes in everything and is just so into life and into this realm of possibility of learning something in this other kind of spiritual world. So for both of you, I want to ask, as actors, how do you prepare for that? Because obviously it's written and you have to kind of act that out. And then also, how do you feel fans are going to react?
Wow. I didn't have to do a lot to get ready for this role. I really identified with this character more than I've identified with, I think, anything that I've ever played. He's queer, he's Black, he's spiritual. This is my territory, right? So I was really busy when we did the pilot, so I didn't have a whole lot of time for prep. So I kind of went in and was let's see what comes out of me with these words that the writers put down. And it was just all there on the page.
The weird thing is that Angel was written for me and I'm queer, I'm Black. And I was ready to step in and Ray was like, I've got this.
Let me do it.
You, sweetheart, step aside. No, I feel the same way Ray does about Maria. It was already done. The work was already done, which is also a bit embarrassing because really, when the writers were saying to me, so just so you know, this mom is, you see her, she's a meddler and she's all these things, but she's also this, has this big heart. And I was like, you don't have to explain. This is me. I am this person. I'm a mom. I get this 1,000,000%. I'm also my mother who would come into my home. God love her. You would leave the room and come back in and she'd already rearranged the pillows and the throw and just sitting, smiling, and it was because she really thought it would be nice for you. I know you thought this was nice, but look, this is nicer. You'll be happy with it. Don't worry. For better or for worse, this person is me. So there was not a lot of prep that needed to happen. Just a relationship with Rebecca, which was super easy right from the get-go.
And to go on that kind of the acceptance, and both of your characters are so just accepting in this world. And like I said, I feel like it's really going to make a difference for people, regardless of what they're kind of fighting, right? To feel accepted. So I wanted to ask you guys what that feels like, because you guys are going to be the face of it, really. I mean, it's so beautiful. One who's playing a parent and one that's a friend, and just to have that acceptance, and it's okay to be different. So I want to know how you guys feel on taking that weight of being the face of that. And then what do you think fans can expect? Because this show is so heartwarming, so lovely, so beautiful, so well done, funny. It just has everything I feel like we need right now.
Listen, if that's my mission, is to help people feel more accepted in whatever space they're living in, sign me up, right? I will take it. I will do it, whatever I need to do, because that's powerful stuff, right? That's magic, to make somebody feel accepted and safe in whatever space they're in. I'm here for it.
And as a parent, I feel like that's just what you do. I don't know. I mean, I guess not everybody does. I do it. It's just, my son could come to me and say, I've decided I'm a zebra who wears an eye patch. And I'd be like, great, let's get the sewing machine out. Where do I get these eye patches? I think you just do out of love. But then I think there's always fear, protection that we want to put around our children too, for no matter what they are, oh, you're going to wear that hairstyle. Okay. Well, some people might, that's fine. Can I just, no. Okay, good. Great. look at my kid. Aren't they amazing? I think you just do. I maybe not everybody does get that. I wish everybody would get that, but certainly I get that in the character of Maria. I get that. Just she's questioning her because she wants to protect her and make sure she's okay. But you cross her or you hurt my daughter, and yeah, I'll eat your face.
Oh, and that's what I love about it. And, I'm telling everyone to watch the show because it's so multi-layered, and above the acceptance is also this beautiful community and this friendship and these amazing things that you guys kind of all form together with family and friends. And
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was so excited to speak with you guys. So congratulations. Here is Chris Elliot talking about his character, Jack.
Hi, Monica.
I'm so excited to talk with you. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I have loved you for so long. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much.
But I'll jump right into the show. This character, Jack, is like very different for you because he's a little more like pulled in, a little more tamed, but still very funny, but so sweet, such a sweet man. So I wanted to know, if it was like harder for you, easier for you as an actor, how you kind of approach it, because you play very like outlandish, kind of crazy, like super funny characters, but he's still funny, but like pulled in more. So do you approach that differently?
I think so. And that's what attracted me to the part right away, was that it's a part that is more pulled in than Roland on Schitt's Creek. And I also was attracted to the fact that Jack really likes to avoid any kind of situation and avoid people in general. I think there's a line where he says, I hate people. I think he just likes being on his own and having, not a lot of things he has to do during the day. And I'm very much like that. So it was very easy for me to step into Jack, and I'm also a dad, and I realized, well, yeah, I can be that way. But, if I was that way all the time, it'd be pretty selfish. You have to, at some point, give your kid some advice or guidance, and Jack does.
But what's so great about him is he's so accepting, which I think is so important right now in particular, because this show is such a heartful, loving show. And anytime that Maggie seems to have an issue, she goes to her dad. And he's just gets advice and is so accepting with it. So how is that for you? Because that's such a needed thing. And I think it's going to be so impactful for when people watch I saw the whole series already. When people watch it, I think it's really going to impact a lot of people, that they can go to their parents and it's okay. And so what does that mean to you playing a role like that and being the face of it?
That's a really good point. And, mothers and daughters and fathers and daughters, their dynamics are always a little different. And Rebecca loves her mother, Maria, as much as her dad, Jack, in the show. But Jack and Rebecca are very close, and they'll have secret handshakes and eye looks and whatever. And it's not that Jack ever throws Maria under the bus, but at the same time, he knows, as goofy as he is and as lazy as he is, he does know that he has this responsibility with his daughter, and that and he relies on her as much as she relies on him. And I think with any parent, and being a parent, Rebecca has this talent where she can see the future, but any parent tries to see the future with their kids. And I think Jack is kind of anticipating whenever Maggie sits down with him. I think he's anticipating what the problem is, and he might have an intuitive ability to sort of know right away what it is. And then I think with Kerri's character, and she would be able to speak better than me, but I think there's more, fuzz in between the dialogue, for the daughter with her mother than it is with the daughter and her father in Maggie. Yeah,
and I love it too. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up too is, yes, people might see your name, right, and assume there's going to be this crazy character or this outgoing, which you do so well. But when you watch it, I just forgot everything else that I've ever seen. It was a totally different character. And I went, oh, this is great for Kerri. It was such a great role for you. And it was so different and so good. You were so good at it. So
that's so sweet. That's so nice.
So
I was always amazed early in my career that when I would do an interview that people like thought, oh, he's going to be bouncing off the walls. He's just this crazy, goofy guy. And I'm really not in real life. I think I'm funny, and I think I'm really very charming. I think that's really my gift.
you have that sexiness. You do. You have it.
I have it. Oh, believe me, I have stared at myself in the mirror and gone, wow.
Listen, you do. Trust me, because when I told people I was talking to you,
sometimes I just set up Zoom. I'm not talking to anybody, but I'm just looking at myself and pretending like I'm doing a 60 Minutes interview and just going, yeah. Well, let me tell you something about where I came up with that idea, and I am set for the night.
So, what would you want to tell fans to watch the show, to tune in? Because obviously, I love it. It's so heartfelt. You're so good in it. I love the relationship. I just love everything about it. But what would you tell people that haven't seen it yet?
I would tell people that if they want to escape the anxiety of life that we're all experiencing right now in the world, Maggie is the show for you, because it's fun. The people are so likable. And it's not that it doesn't challenge you, but it doesn't get you uptight. It doesn't make you anxious. You don't leave the show feeling angry or mad or anything like that. You feel refreshed. And I think we need more TV like that.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait for everyone to see it. And I appreciate talking to you. And like I said, I would talk to you for hours and hours. I just love you so much.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me. It really does.
Now we have David Del Rio and Chloe Bridges talking about their relationship and what fans can expect. The show is so lovely and so happy and hopeful and joyful, which I feel like is something we desperately need right now. So I want to ask you first why it's so important to have this kind of content out there on Hulu and for people to watch it. And second, what do you guys love about your characters? Because the two of you are so cute on the show together.
Well, I mean, to be a part of a rom-com and to be shooting it in the time that we were shooting it was a breath of fresh air for a lot of us too. Kind of really grateful of how things just kind of work out in a way in terms of the projects that we fall into, and to be part of something so light and loving and hopeful, the way that you said I hope it translates on screen the way that we were feeling on set, which was a story we really wanted to tell. And we really wanted to tell a relatable and funny and happy story. And I'm really glad that it's that you like it, and I'm glad that you felt the same way about it, because the thing is that we're at a time where everybody in the world has lived through the same thing. There's not, we're all under this tent of this, crazy period. And to be of service, to give light, loving, hopeful entertainment to everybody, I'm pretty honored and grateful to be a part of it.
I agree. I mean, that's how it felt like on set. Mm-hmm. And that's how I think it feels on the screen. And I think we could all use that extra little bit of serotonin that we can get right now. So
right.
I think it brings a lot of light and happiness.
Yeah.
And that was our goal.
It does. It really does. I every episode, I was so happy because although, yes, the premise of her being able to see things could come off in a certain way, it just doesn't. It just everything works. It's just such a loving environment. I watched the whole thing. I literally sat and just watched one after the other. So I'm so excited to see it.
Oh, thanks so much.
I love your characters. I love Jesse and Ben. So what can you tell me about them? I mean, obviously I know, but what can you tell people about what they can expect for the season? Because there's a lot of twists and turns, especially in the beginning for the two of you.
Yeah, we have a love triangle set up right off the bat. Obviously, Maggie sees a vision of herself with Ben, and Ben is already my boyfriend. So that creates a little bit of a situation. Yeah, I mean, I think you are in a real pickle.
Yeah. I mean, Ben is in a pickle, and he's a very flawed character, which is always just fun to play, and to also play with the balance of it, right? Where Ben's in scenes with both Jesse and Maggie was really fun to play, because you I remember would get like direction from, one of the creators and going, yeah, listen, you're loving Jesse, you're looking at Jesse too much, or you're looking at Maggie too much. Can you just kind of balance it out just a little bit? I'm like, yeah, for sure. And exploring that was really fun. But the other thing too is like, you always want to be part of a piece where the audience picks sides. You really do. And to have to be part of a show where, you have people really who are going to feel a certain way about Ben's decisions. That's always fun. That's really always fun. It's kind of like what is it? Like a Team Edward team. What's that?
Oh yeah, my Edward or my
Jacob.
You're
Edward and Jacob.
I think you're Edward.
Am I Edward?
I think you're Edward.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's the team Edward and Jacob, but I get he's giving you
That's
props. A lot of people went on Edward's side, so that might give stuff away. I want to ask you guys, I guess for like the last thing, what do you want to tell fans? Obviously, I'm sure everyone's asking you this, but why to tune in? I'm telling everybody to watch the show because it's so like heartwarming and loving, but like there's so much more to it. There's so many layers in it, and I you can probably tell I just love it so much. I would gush with you guys for an hour. But what would you tell fans on why they should tune in and get excited and watch it?
I think it's funny. I think it's vulnerable. I think it's lighthearted. And I think it's exactly what we need right now. There are twists and turns, as you say, but at the end of the day, it's a very relatable story about dating in your 30s and about how when friendship is your family. And yeah, it's
I really could not have said that better myself. I mean, she covered all of it. Really. No, really, that was really good. I mean, I think the word is really relatable. There's not going to be a character that nobody relates to. Did I say that right? There's not going to be a character that nobody relates to. I think I said that right. But yeah, I think everybody's going to relate to every character in this show is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Well
Thank you. But yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much. Like I said, the characters, I love them. It is true. There is a little Jacob Edward. I feel it. I get you. With people picking sides, but it's just so loving and beautiful. And you guys do such a fantastic job. And there's so many different themes in every episode. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So congratulations. I think it's going to be huge when it comes out. And I think everyone's going to love it. So
means a lot.
So
great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Here's Angelique Cabral and Leonardo Nam talking about their experiences playing Caimi and Dave. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Hey.
Good.
So I want to start off right off the bat with the show is so it has so much heart to it. It's so loving. It's so beautiful. There's so many layers to it. There's so much acceptance in it, funniness, family, friends. So for both of you, what does it feel like to be on a show I feel like that we desperately need right now? And why was it so important to be on a show like this?
Well, I just think it's what we need right now. I'm hoping that especially in the summer right now, like it's just such a breath of fresh air. And I am drawn weirdly to shows that are just like lighthearted and kind of heartfelt. It's a similar vibe of His Life in Pieces. It makes you cry a little bit here and there. It's a sweet show. I think it's rare that to find comedies that aren't like kind of biting and like sarcastic and kind of mean in their undertones. And I think that this is not that.
Yeah.
And I hope that like, that's how I am as a person. So I think it like reflects kind of how I am.
Yeah. I love that idea to be part of a show that's going to bring some levity to the world, bring some joy to people's lives, especially after these, past couple of years that we've had. I think it's exciting to be part of a show that is going to let people see what good relationships are. That's what I wanted, because having been in other shows where it's also dark and goes to the underbelly of humanity, then this kind of goes to the levity of humanity, and I think it's really special to be part of that.
Yeah, and like you guys said, we desperately need it right now, and it was so like every episode I felt so good, and just like I just felt good. Like I can't explain it.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yes.
Yes, it was so good. I love David and Caimi. I'm like obsessed because you guys are so hilarious. So cute, so funny. So when you get a script like that, obviously, yes, there's words on the page and they're written for you. And I know, credit to the writers, but there's a lot that you guys do to kind of step in and make that happen. So is there prep or anything that you go through? Because comedy is hard to kind of hit it in the way that you guys do, because it's not like outwardly like a hilarious, like you're not laughing every 2 seconds, but it's like these little things that you guys do and you do them so well.
Thank
So
you.
how do you prep for that?
I would say, like, for me, I just kind of come to set ready to play. Like, you know where you're coming from, you know what's supposed to happen in the scene. And then really it's just listening to your partner and having a good partner to kind of bounce things off of. And I think on a new show, it's always one of those things where you learn after like 2 or 3 episodes. And I feel like by episode 4 or 5, we were like in a groove.
In a groove, yeah. Yeah. I feel like for me, definitely that idea that you come to play was definitely their onset, you know, from the top down, from day one, meeting with Justin Adler and Maggie Mull and Natalia Anderson. They brought that spirit about it. You know, it was, they wanted us to improv. They were, you know, kind of really on our side about that, which is very odd for me, having come from another show, you know, like Westworld or stuff, where it's all by the word, by the comma. And so there is benefit in that, but in this world, it felt so wonderful to kind of come prepared, and then know that you are also allowed to play in that moment. You know, I remember one specific moment where I was trying to figure out, well, how would I move around the room, you know, and to be able to play about pouring wine and stuff. It's very small, but for me as an actor, it felt so great to be able to take that time to know,
and talk about it.
Yeah.
And also I think that's a testament to like the writing for sure. But when you do a comedy, what makes it good and what makes it real is if it's you, right? So I think that each one of us in this cast is really strong because much of the characters are just ourselves.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, I think that so much of Amy is me. I think of so much of Dave is you. And I think that the more you get these scripts and the episodes, it's like just easier and easier to bring yourself to the characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And Leonardo, it was so great seeing you, by the way, doing comedy after Westworld. So very happy with you. Final question would be, what would you tell fans to look forward to?
Watch this show because it's like a great summer, lighthearted, nice, palatable, fun show.
Yeah. Watch it with rosé.
Yeah, rosé all day.
Rosé all day with it, you know. I just hope that people come out of this, you know, feeling really hopeful about life, about their relationships, about how good things really are right now, you know, in your life, with your family, with your friends, with a new neighbor. You know, I hope that people go out there and with that spirit after watching the show.
And finally, we have Nichole, Sakura, and Rebecca Rittenhouse. I'm so excited to speak with you. It's such a heartwarming, sweet show. And, you know, Rebecca, for Maggie, it could come off unbelievable that she can like kind of see the future and it could be corny and cheesy. The way it's filmed, the way it's acted, it does not come off that way at all. It's just like a matter of fact. I wanted to know for you, how do you approach that when you're reading it in the script? You're like, oh, I have to act like I'm seeing these things. And like, how do you kind of do that as an actress? And then for Nichole, I wanted to ask you, like, you know, you're playing a friend and you're totally accepting. You accept everything without question. Yeah. And I wanted to know what went into that for you and your process.
Well, for me, I think because it really is something that, like, you know, she's experienced virtually her whole life. There is a sort of matter of factness about all of that. And in fact, I think as an actor, the more technical considerations of filming those visions almost distract you from doing too much, because in a good way, because you have to focus on where your eye line is. And, you know, they wanted to do a lot of specials for those visions and stuff. So it just ends up being like, it's akin to like when you have a memory just flash in front of your eyes. It's like, that's how she sees things. And it just they come and they go and they're just there. She doesn't usually have some big reaction unless it's a big piece of news like we see in the pilot. So yeah, I think the technical aspects of it are actually the most require the most attention and energy for those visions.
Yeah, and as far as Louise goes, I mean, there's a line that she has at the end of the pilot where, you know, she basically says to Maggie, like, we all just have to live with the information that we have, and we keep going that way. And I feel like that is a good way to sort of summarize her philosophy as a character. You know, she's And I think that's what makes her so accepting of Maggie too, is like, we're all just where we're at in this life. And I feel like maybe that's also part of her, her yoga teacher side, where she has this sense of mindfulness and a sense of understanding and empathy for everybody. And yeah, I think that's what makes her a good friend.
I love the two of you together. In particular, you guys have such funny scenes. So I also love the fact that it's both women, and it's women empowering other women, supporting other women.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you both about the relationship between your characters and what that's like, and playing off of it, and also what you're hoping fans get out of it, because it's such a beautiful show.
I feel like one of the things that I hope fans get out of it is self-acceptance. I think that's something that we explore a lot. Like, when Maggie doesn't want to put a sign up in her shop, and Louise really helps her embrace who she is and accept who she is and kind of celebrate herself. And I feel like a lot of people, the world we live in, like, we're so focused on other people, like on Instagram and comparing our lives to other people. We often don't stop to think about who we are as individuals and what we have to offer. So I think the show does a nice job of communicating that message. And then as far as our friendship goes on screen, I mean, it's so easy to work with her. Like, we're so different, by the way, in life. Like, our personalities are so different.
Like, our characters are really different.
And I just feel like we complement each other really well. And I think you see that a lot in friendships, it's like a yin and a yang.
And like, Maggie's always in her head and thinking about the future and feeling anxious. And Louise is just, going by the seat of her pants and going wherever her heart leads her. And that's another part of where they can balance each other out. It's like Maggie could use a little bit more of what Louise has, and Louise could use a little bit more of what Maggie has.
Hope you guys enjoyed listening to the cast of Maggie talk about their experience filming the show. All of the episodes are currently live now on Hulu, so go feel free to stream it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're updated on all of our latest podcasts, and stay tuned because we have more to come. Thank you.